So those 30 kind of practices that you guys do implement on the Be Well plan, can you give us an insight into what some of those are, what they might look like for someone, maybe even yourself or someone you've seen?
We use something called tiny habit statements or habit statements, which is getting people to be very explicit about how and when they're going to practice this habit, and generally tying it to something that they already do. And so, for example, an example of breathing exercises, right, is you could just say, yep, go and listen to this 30-second video and do this like whenever suits you. Instead, what we get people to do is to say, explicitly, we're writing this down in our booklets. You say, what am I going to tie this to? So for me personally, this is one that I do. It's when I get home and I put the key in the front door, basically. Like that's something that I already do anyway, so that's my anchor that I anchor this habit to. I put the key in the door and I take 3 really deep, slow breaths, and I just think about how I want to be when I go into the house. So I've got little kids at home. It's really easy to just like walk in the door and be preoccupied with your own stresses and tiredness and whatever else, but actually that's not who I want to be when I get home. So it's like super simple, right? But it just totally transforms the way, or the way that I act when I get home, basically. And so part of the habit statement is, so you're talking about explicitly, what am I going to do? What am I going to anchor it to in my day, which is the sort of the key in the door, and how will I celebrate once I've done that? And so for me, it's then going and giving a big hug to the kids. So that's like an example, right, of how we really try to embed these things. People are already super busy. When we talk about mindfulness and stuff, they think about like hours of meditation on top of a mountain somewhere. And we're really taking that back. And I think that's what's interesting, is that people do find particular interests when they go through this program, which they then explore on the other side of the Be Well plan. So again, we're not too prescriptive in what we do, and actually people find their own interests and then investigate them further. So people join whatever yoga studios, or they join meditation clubs or apps. So in terms of recommendations, it's an easy one to give, which is go out there and figure out a type of mindful practice that suits you. It's not meditation for everyone. It can be physical. You can mindfully physically exercise. You can do it face to face or online or with people or by yourself, indoors, outdoors. Just go and practice something and get a bit more connected to them into the moment, which I think is a big challenge for us. There are lots of distractions at the moment, so that's the one thing I would give.